All right. Good morning. We'll let some folks join in here. Happy New Year to you. It is it's 2025. Gosh, that's kind of hard to believe, but it is. So we're ready to rock and roll this morning. I look great. Look at my hair. Look fantastic. We'll let some folks again get filed in. And we'll get on the update. I can tell you that if you like snow, you're going to like this update, and if you don't, you won't. So we'll just kind of see how it goes. About another minute, I'll get going. What I'd like to see is shares and tags. So share this, tag a friend. Repost it on X, whatever the case may be. Post a link on your Facebook. I would like to see the shares go up, and we'll get going. 9:04, I'll get going. So, good morning. Good morning. All right, guys. A lot of you watching this morning. Good morning. Yes, good morning. Yeah, we're going to cover the $100 bet, all the things. Want to make sure you all know and remember that the stream is powered by our friends at Express Steel out of Martinsville, Indiana. You can go to expresssteelinc.com/BAM and get all kinds of deals. They've got sales, they've got discounts for you. You can go and look at, obviously, the snow pushers. I have a feeling, that you're going to need them here coming up this weekend. So just remember expresssteelinc.com. I guess my title was off. Brett's fixing that for me. So, all right, guys. So just a little kind of look into kind of the first things we're going to talk about. What I'm going to do is share my screen with my desktop here. I'm going to go into this one here, and I want to verify you all can see that okay. So this is our Clarity platform, okay? And what we're going to talk about is kind of the first round of snow. There's going to be intermittent snow showers today that may coat the ground in spots, may make for slick spots. There will be cold enough air around and for snow around for there to be just little impacts here and there. Just even looking at the snowfall forecast over the next 24 hours, there are going to be some spots that could get a little accumulation. We do have a nowcast out right now as temperatures continue to drop. An isolated slick spot or two isn't going to be out of the question here. These get sent directly to your mobile phones if you have the Clarity application. So that's pretty neat, right? But nonetheless, temperatures are crashing. These are temperatures right now. It is 29 here. It is 19 in Iowa, and up in North Dakota, it is 3 degrees. Out ahead of this system, it was, in the 40s with rain. We've had a lot of rain over the last several days. In fact, this is the 7-day observed rainfall. Pretty much across Indiana, last 7 days, 2 inches of rain. A lot of rain. I mean, it's if this would have been, I didn't mean to do that. Apologize about that. If this would have been snow, could only imagine. But I can tell you right now that the storm system showing up for Sunday, Monday is looking rather significant. So we are going to get into the analysis of that right now. Now, again, we do have the potential for, and I apologize, I keep Xing that out. We do have the potential for snow to move through, which comes through the old $100 bet from our friend. I forget her name now. Amanda, maybe, or Andrea. I don't know. Anyways, late Thursday into early Friday, a clipper can bring a half an inch, a coating of snow across central Indiana, Illinois, Ohio. A corridor of a little bit heavier snow is in the cards. Northern Illinois, northern Indiana, north central Ohio. Again, this is just a quick clipper. It will certainly be cold enough for snow to coat the ground and for there to be probably impacts. So just keep that in mind. That'll be kind of the first round. All right. So we're going to continue to monitor that and keep you all posted. But it was Ashley. Was that what it was? Okay. All right. Gotcha. Thanks for the reminder. But nonetheless, we have certainly the potential for travel impacts here Friday. Again, as you can see from the forecast this is the timing. Again, this gets sent right to your mobile device if you have the Clarity application. If you have the Pro version, you get the daily insights from the meteorologists and you get this type of information. So late Thursday, here it is. And again, we do have timing suggests, or given northerly trends, confidence has decreased on the southern edge of the system. It has gone north a little bit. It's a great point there. But nonetheless, many folks are still going to get snow tomorrow night, a little bit of it. So let's talk about what everyone wants to talk about, which is the big snowstorm potential for the weekend, late weekend to early next week, when everybody's going back to work and school. All of our model data now at this point essentially has shifted towards, being supportive of a big snowstorm. All right. We don't have any weather models, by the way, that do not suggest a snowstorm at this point. There isn't any. And so whenever you start getting that kind of consistency and run to run, consistency in the model data, your confidence increases dramatically even earlier on. And I'll tell you, snows like that, what the models are advertising in the month of January are extraordinarily rare here in Indianapolis. All right. I'm going to share some statistics with you after I go through this. And, it's pretty interesting how uncommon getting 6 inches of snow is in Indianapolis in a 24-hour period. It's not common. It's only happened 8 times since 1990. 8 times since 1990. 6-inch plus single day snow in January. Okay, so it's not common. It's very rare, which is why there's probably a lot of skepticism. But that's all right. We're gonna talk to you about this. Latest run of the American model. We're going to show you that. All right, and you can see this is getting the American model is a little bit later on arrival than the European by almost a solid half of a day. So the timing still has to be ironed out a little bit, but we're only 100 hours away from the onset of this. So the confidence is dramatically increasing. This is Sunday afternoon if you ask the American GFS model. Okay, much further north, much more in line with all other data now versus yesterday. It was the outlier, and that's why a lot of the local media was, calling us social meteorologists, cowboys or whatever, telling them that the model data was south. Well, that was in reference to the American model, and it's not south now. The pattern just isn't supportive of a southern storm system, much further south than this. It's just not. We do our research to be able to know that. You can look at setups and what they favor. Sunday night into Monday morning. So Monday morning, waking up, area of low pressure, Kentucky, Tennessee state line. Heavy snow falling here across Indiana. Heavy snow. This is a heavy snow look. It's a classic heavy snow. When we look at the atmosphere as meteorologists, this is about the best look you can get from the surface all the way up to 90,000 feet on snow. Okay. So just to keep that in perspective for you, it's a classic heavy snow atmosphere. right now at 120 hours out. On the GFS run, the snow is out of here Monday night. Okay. Monday night, it's out of here. Let's look at the European. All right. Again, for those of you, just to keep you posted, Thursday night into Friday, there's the clipper. There's the snow right there. It's there. It's going to snow early Friday morning. And then we watch the weekend system. Now, note the European quite a bit faster. By Sunday morning, it's already snowing. Area of low pressure is a little bit stronger, a little bit further north. This is heavy snow Sunday afternoon. Sunday evening, 5 p.m., it's snowing pretty good still. Low pressure is taking the same track as the American model, which again increases confidence significantly at this distance. 115 hours out, still snowing. But note the European out of here by Monday morning versus the GFS, a little bit different there, a little bit slower. That's the European's version of this. Now the Canadian, all right, again, Canadian model showing clipper Thursday night into Friday. There it is, right there. Okay, get some snow, $100, easy $100. And then what comes from this is Sunday afternoon, a little bit slower like the American model. It's snowing hard Monday morning. This is a hard snow sounding. Okay, still snowing Monday afternoon. We've got mixing working, and we're going to talk about that. Okay, see this here? That's sleet and ice. You got 4 different types of precip in 2 states. So we'll talk about that. But the low pressure center staying the way it's going to stay. On the backside, the Canadian throws in a deformation band with very cold temperatures in the teens. And the snow piles up in central Indiana on the Canadian model. And it snows until Tuesday morning. That solution's probably not the most accurate. It's not off the table, but it's probably not the likely outcome that we would expect. Okay. By the way, all the comments, I'll get to them after I'm done with the analysis. I haven't read any of your comments, just so you know. I will get to them here soon. Now, I do want to make sure you all remember who's powering the stream. Okay. And that is Express Steel. And they have a link for you. Oh, that is not the right site. Let's see. There we go. There it is. Holiday sale right now, expresssteelinc.com. If you do /BAM, 10% off attachments, $100 off of pushers. Express Steel is powering the stream. So just keep that in mind. We do this because they do it. They pay for this. And these are great people out of Martinsville, Indiana. And go hit them up. Snow pushers. All right. All handmade there. Pretty cool stuff. So just want to make sure we're all on the same page there. I want to talk about some things that are really grabbing my attention with this storm Sunday into Monday now. Okay. What's really grabbing my attention is essentially the amount of liquid precipitation available. All right. For the storm system. This is the European ensemble. So this is 51 different models averaged together. So the European model you all see a lot. That's the model, that's the operational run, that's the model that we show everybody, and it's kind of the one that gets all the attention. But the European ensemble, all right, has 51 different versions that run within it, and then it averages it all together. Okay. That's advertising almost an inch of liquid, 9/10 of an inch of liquid. In a traditional setting, that's 9 inches of snow, 10-1, 9 inches of snow. Easy. That's how it works. 1 inch of rain is 1 inch or 10 inches of snow. Okay. This is not totally traditional because of how cold this particular setup is. As it is snowing for this event, you can see temperatures across the area are well cold enough. Looking at the ensemble mean forecast from the European, the freezing line is all the way down in central Kentucky. All right. So the idea of getting precip issues is non-existent. And we would be looking at a fluffier, more powdery snow, higher ratios, less water in that snow. And so blowing and drifting could certainly become a concern for that in that regard, because of the snow will be a higher ratio snow. And so in that instance, what we would do is we would go to the operational run of the European, and we would look at wind gust information, okay, during the storm. And we could see that during the storm, Sunday evening into Monday, there are some wind gusts of around 30 miles per hour. All right. And those winds are probably going to be out of the northeast a little bit there, north and northeast on the backside of the low. So 15 to 30 mile per hour wind is going to certainly make for blowing and drifting of snow. There's no question. What a lot of forecasters are going to miss. Here's what I'm just going to tell you right now, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way. What a lot of people are going to miss with this storm is the ratios. Okay, you're going to see a lot of snow forecasts at 10 to 1, and the snow maps are going to be a lot lower because they're factoring in a standard 10 to 1 snow ratio. This has every bit of being possible of 13 to 15 to 1 ratios, which takes the snow amounts higher. Okay. So that is something to keep in mind, that the snow amounts can be higher because of the higher ratios. All right. So if you're seeing lower snow maps, it may be an issue of not factoring in surface and upper air temperatures being so cold. Something to consider there. All right. So here's the model. Here's the various different runs of the models. Okay. Here's the GFS, and we are factoring in the cold here. GFS is it's an 8 to 12 inch snow across central Indiana. Okay. That's the latest GFS, 8 to 12 inch snow. It's 12 inches plus across Illinois, northern Missouri, southern Iowa. Anywhere you see the burgundy color here, all right, this dark red, that's 12 inches or more. It's an 8 to 12 inch snow on the GFS. The European model is about a 6 to 12 inch, maybe 8. Yes, there's some 7, let's call it 7 to 11 inches across central Indiana, 7 to 11 inches across Illinois. All right. The latest run from the run prior last night of the European had big snow numbers across the area. All right, it had a foot plus in Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, northern Kentucky, all the way out through West Virginia. It had a big swath. So if that comes back this morning, it wouldn't totally shock me. Here's the Canadian model. All right, this is the one I told you was a little bit more unrealistic because of the backside deformation axis. If that happens, that's what would happen, though. You dump 15 inches of snow down in here. It's way cold enough for this. All right. I'm not sharing my screen. I just got a bunch of text messages from people. My apologies, guys. Good night. All right. Let's do that again. I'm sharing my screen now. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Here we go. So here was the GFS. All right. Here was the GFS model from 6Z, the overnight run. Okay. Again, I mentioned that's about a 9 to 12 inch snow, 8 to 12 inch snow if you want to be conservative. Here was the European model that I talked about being about a 7 to 11 inch snow. This was last night's run, so 12 hours ago. All right, this was a widespread swath of the foot or more that I mentioned. Okay, the red or darker is 12 inches or more. And then the Canadian model over here on the other side of this is this is what would happen, as I mentioned, if there was that deformation axis and brings in an additional burst of snow. The Canadian's a 9 to 12 inch snow. I mean, no doubt about it. A little bit further north than the other two solutions. We do have some ensemble members that are still a little north. And I'll tell you, historically, what might happen is that there could be some north clicks. There could be some north clicks there, possibly. The climatology of these types of storms may suggest that. So I wouldn't be shocked to see that. Now, let's talk about the other side of the coin here. This is ice. This is the same model runs I just showed you. This has the potential from Missouri, southern Illinois to Kentucky to be a prolific ice storm, one that would knock out power and make travel impossible. Okay, so something to keep in mind that the southern edge of this is certainly going to have an ice component to it and be very, very nasty for travel. Power outages, widespread issues, down trees, down power lines. The ice component of this is big, and it's on every weather model. Okay, so the confidence level to this is on a scale of 1 to 10. When I would say normally we're Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4.5 days out, 4 days out. Normally, I would say confidence would be on the lower end. On a scale of 1 to 10, it would be a 4 or a 5. Right now, today, it's a 7 or an 8. An extraordinarily rare situation of strong model support and ensemble agreement across the board. Not to mention the blocking pattern in general, the weather pattern just supports this. It's just what it does. It supports it. So for those of you asking, this would not qualify for blizzard criteria. I don't believe this is a blizzard, but I do believe it's absolutely a winter storm watch. Probably tomorrow, I guess. I don't know. I can't predict when the Weather Service is going to issue alerts. You're going to get the same weather regardless of the watch or the warning. It doesn't matter. It's certainly going to meet the criteria of 5 inches or more of snow inside of 48 hours. It's certainly going to meet that. It's not even a question, in my opinion, right now. The confidence on that's rather high. Okay. So we're going to pause for station identification. I always like to say that reminds me of the Colts games. But we're powered by Express Steel. Visit expresssteelinc.com. All right. Let them know you saw them on BAM. They got the snow pushers. They're handmade out there in Martinsville, Indiana. You're going to need some snow pushers across the Midwest Monday. You're going to actually need to remove snow. Okay. It's not just going to be plowing it. You may have to remove it. Just something to keep in mind. So, again, high confidence on that. And let me go back to, I want to make sure I turn my screen share back on so I don't get bombarded with text messages. Here's our thought process. Okay. This is our map, our hand-drawn map from our meteorologists. We've been talking all morning. We've been talking since, I don't know, a long time. Been looking at this since 5 o'clock this morning. And there's this, every model, again, agrees with this. A significant snow potential of 6 inches or more. All right. 6 inches or more snow potential inside that blue line there. I would go out as far to say this is 8-inch plus snow inside that blue line, and a lot of people are going to see double-digit snow totals inside that blue drawing. Okay, I have high confidence in that. I'm going to show you why I have high confidence in that, and show you where all the data is coming from. But this is our thought process right now, hand drawn, again, probably 7 out of 10 confidence on this. So share it with a friend, tag a friend, repost it on X. Let them know what's going on. I'm going to share some statistics with you here in just a minute. Actually, I'm going to do the statistics first. How about that? So I went through and gathered up some statistics. Since 1990 in Indianapolis, we've only had 8 events that have seen 6 inches or more officially observed at the Indianapolis National Weather Service office on the southwest side of Marion County. It's only happened 8 times out of 744 days in January, 31 times, going back to 1990. It's interesting. That's an interesting way to look at this. It means it's extraordinarily rare. So you've got to think about the type of storm the models are advertising. Actually, you know what? I did that wrong. It's actually 34. It's actually 31 times 34. It's actually 1,054 days. We're going to have to update that on the fly. I just was sitting here doing the math in my head, and I was like, you know what? That's not right. It's 1,054 days if we go back to 1990. Excuse me. Which essentially would take this down to pretty much about a 0.6% chance of happening. Okay. If you look at climatology, all right, if you just look at historical data in Indy, 24-hour 6-inch snow events, that's essentially what happened. All right. I'm going to pull that up. I know it says failed. Can't see it yet. Give me a second. I'm going to pull it up and put it into the browser here. But there it is. 8 out of 1,054 days since 1990 has there been 6-inch plus single day snow event. All right. Now that's coming right out of the Snow Cowboy meteorologist basement down here, my mom's basement. Oh, goodness gracious. This is not my mom's basement. This is my basement. And it's finished now. Did you guys know that? I used to get made fun of because I was doing live streams in a non-finished basement. Now my basement is actually finished. It's actually pretty nice. You probably can't see it very well, but how about that? I've graduated in the world because I don't even have my hat on backwards and my gold chain isn't showing. Can you guys believe that too? So trying to keep it a little bit more professional here this morning. But again, right now, what we would be targeting is Sunday into Monday. Sometime Sunday morning through sometime Monday night right now. Okay. That would be the idea. This is timing is a little bit up for grabs here. But I want to share one other statistic for you real quick. And that's just the model average of snowfall. So I went through this morning and I did a hand analysis, which I like to do during bigger snow events. I like to do it myself and come up with the average temperature throughout the duration of the event and how much liquid we're looking at. And then I calculate my own ratios. So you can see the colder side of the storm would suggest a 12-inch snow and is possible in Indy from a model average, right? The European ensemble, which is the top one, that's the EPS. That's 13.5 inches. So this is Indianapolis. I'm just showing you this because it's fun, but you can see I don't have a model that's over 32 degrees. So if you're across, the I-70 corridor, central Indiana, north central Indiana, it's going to snow. So you'll start to see more people talking about it, especially this afternoon and tomorrow as new runs. If the runs continue to come in with the confidence that they have, that they've had, so it's certainly possible. What a great stat here from Marcus. I like this. I'm going to share that, Marcus. He says little more than 1,400 days since 4-inch plus snowstorm here in Louisville. All right. So that's interesting. I don't know if that's accurate or where you got that from, but if it is accurate, then wow, I don't doubt it. Regardless, that's kind of the territory we're in right now. Is we're talking about a storm that would fall within the 1% category of single day January snowstorms. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a big one. Someone did ask if there's northerly tracks possible. Joseph Webster did ask that. I think so, Joseph. I think there can be a few, just knowing what I know, and as long as I've been doing this, as we get closer, there could be some northerly clicks. I don't think it's going to go to Fort Wayne. I don't think it's going to go that far. I think that it could come up a county row or two. Okay. But I don't see major shifts, all right, in the storm system right now. So, I got a lot of heat yesterday. I took a lot of heat yesterday from some folks. Here's what I'd like to end this with. For the last several years, we've done a lot of roasting of rude comments to people. We've done that for a long time, and I'm gonna display this because this is what makes me want to talk about it. We call out the folks who just are ruthlessly rude and just ridiculous, and we do that because social media has given people a platform to say a lot of things to people that they would never say to them in person. And they get away with bullying and being rude. And so we call it out. But with that said, I'm going to take a little bit more of a different approach the next few lives here. I may wear a cowboy hat. I'm not saying I'm not going to not call some folks out, but just so you know, we've done this for a while, and now we have millions and millions of people that watch this stuff. It's really remarkable how many people watch this stuff. So yeah, sign up for Clarity if you want to get our stuff. Whoever's watching from my team, if you would put the sign up link in the comments. But yeah, sign up for Clarity. Go and check it out. Get the pro version. Get the Pavecast. Gosh, I will show you what the Pavecast, what the pro version looks like right now with Pavecast. Pull this out a little bit here. And you can kind of see how that might help you. I'm going to continue to talk about this. All right, I'm going to continue to talk about this storm system for a bit. If I go to my location, my point up here, and just kind of show you how Pavecast works, I can go to the hourly forecast and go to the winter focus, and it's going to tell me the pavement's conditions. It's going to tell me if I need to be treating. All right, the temperature of the pavement. I mean, it's an amazing product. Let me show the screen here. Here it is, Pavecast. All right, and this is the kind of stuff you can get here on your device if you do sign up for Clarity now, like Don Combs has said. There's the sign up link. You can check it out. So I know I'm not sharing. I see it. But so that's kind of the rundown. This is a location up in Western Michigan, by the way. Just so you can kind of see how it works. But this is an incredibly cool platform. But just so you guys are all aware of everything, big snowstorm, Sunday into Monday, 6-inch plus totals are possible. A lot of data supports this. A lot of data supports it. Strong ensemble agreement right now. Again, I don't have a model that's not showing snow. I don't have one. Just put that out there. Normally, it's like we have 2 models and 5 of them don't show it, and we're kind of putting our neck out on the line and making risky calls. This one is not really that right now. Okay, yeah, it's certainly a higher confidence situation. So I'll go through and answer just a couple of questions. All right, I see here's a question from Bobby over on YouTube. When will the next live be? That's a good question. I don't know. I might do one around 4 o'clock today. Let's say 4 p.m. Next live, 4 p.m. today. We'll do it. Okay. Great question here from Beth. Beth says, new viewer here. Where's your geographical area of focus for your forecasts? We are based out of Indy. We forecast for the entire U.S. All right. Thank you, Pam. Chicago missing out again. Yep, Randy, Chicago does miss out. Samantha says, why doesn't our local weather channels act like a storm is coming? Drives me insane. They don't. I don't know. I have no idea. If I were a local meteorologist on television, I wouldn't be doing that. I would be talking about it, but I don't know. I can't speak for them. It's been this way since I can remember. And so I don't know. I have no idea. So yesterday we were called out on a news station here in Indianapolis. And we were told we were social media cowboys because the storm was going south. That's the kind of stuff nowadays that'll get you in a world of hurt. In fact, that video was taken down, by the way, because so many people were mad about it. Ryan, again, I kind of covered this. You said, what is the likelihood of dark blue clicking to the north? I would say there's a 60, 70% chance this goes north a county row or two. It's not out of the question. Historically, these stronger storms come a little bit further north as they get closer. Doesn't mean it will. I'm just saying in past, they have. Yeah. And again, when we talk about this real quick in terms of this has only happened 8 times in 34 years. So I can't really put an actual, I can't statistically line that out too much. I've seen it a few times. But when you get a storm of this magnitude, this potential, it kind of gets in its own it's uncharted territory to what this storm can do. All right, so just keep that in mind. It's, statistically, we don't have a lot of factual-based evidence on storms like this. Brandon, what a nice comment over on YouTube Live, says clarity is 100% worth it. Bob Long said, do you believe this is going to be 15-1 or higher? Listen, that's why I did the formulas this way, Bob. I formulated it myself to look at the higher ratio tables because of the colder temperature forecasts. All right. Again, guys, a lot of you are asking about timing. I told you that there's differences in the models. Right now, it's sometimes Sunday morning, I think this starts. Sunday between 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sometimes Sunday is the start of this, depending on which model you look at. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Someone said, Christy had a good comment here. Christy Pickett, you said, is this similar to the snowstorm in 13? I will tell you that snowstorm was in 14. I know which one you're thinking about, January 5th of 14. And no, it's not. It's not similar in regards to the origination of the low pressure center and the track the low is taking. It's not the same. Okay. That storm, by the way, in one day, Indianapolis had, in fact, I can just show you, we had 11.4 inches on that storm. That storm's in its own category. I don't think it'll repeat that. It could. Listen, it could. I don't think it does, but it could. We'll see. I mean, again, we've got several weather models right here that I'm showing you that do have a foot of snow if it's cold enough, the right ratio in Indy. This is Indy. So. Harrison said, is this serious enough? Travel bans will be issued? Yes. Yes. Nikki says, show me the money. I have so many things I could say. I'm going to stay nice. I'm going to stay nice. Guys, so I can't predict when the Weather Service will issue advisories or warnings. I can't predict travel bans. I have no idea what people at county levels are thinking, EMAs, directors, Weather Service people. I can't get in their brains. I have no idea. I don't know. I'll never know. I can't do it. Please stop asking me that question. I don't know. The weather will weather. I promise. All right. It'll weather. It's going to weather whether there's a ban, a watch, an advisory, or whatever. All right. So, hey, this is a great comment. In 2014, local stations didn't cover the storm ahead of time. You guys did. We were prepared and it shut down for days. In 2014, we were really dragged through the mud on that. That's what really put us on the map, was that storm. We were talking about it 7, 8, 9 days out, and people just they just did not like it. So the local media, I got into a screaming match with one of the meteorologists and the news directors from a local station here in Indy. No, I'm not going to say who it is. But I got totally into a yelling match with them because this is irresponsible. You're showing things that aren't going to happen. I'm like, guys, listen, it's on the models. It's there. You just, it's just funny. That was a good storm. Yeah. Okay. I see that, Brian. 27 text messages since I started the live here, from 27 people, not messages. Okay. So, Brian sent me a question, Brian Kilgore, he's the B in BAM, by the way, BAM, B in BAM. So Brian sent me a question. This is a good question. And it says, are there any factors that could cause a bust with this storm? I'm sure that's what he's referring to. That's a great question. Right now, I do not think there's a bust potential here. I think what to be concerned about right now in this particular storm is just a wobble north to south. Okay, maybe one county row it goes north, one county row, two county rows it goes south, but the storm is not going to go away. I don't see a bust potential here on this particular setup. Normally I could say, yeah, I'm worried about the warm nose. I'm worried about no saturation in the dendritic growth zone of the atmosphere, and snowflakes getting sheared apart. And there's all kinds of things that can happen. I don't see that right now, especially across the central Illinois, Indiana, Ohio area. I just don't see it. So it's a great question. It's not anything I'm thinking about right now because I just haven't seen any indication to show us that we should be concerned about it. Listen, when you have, let me go back to share my screen real quick. When you have ensembles that look like this, come on, I gotta get my bearings here. When you have ensembles that show this, being the probability of 6 inches or more of snow from the European ensemble, okay, you're in business. You've got 60% probabilities of 6 inches or more. And not to mention when the ensemble's throwing out suggestions of a foot or more of snow. Notice that those are a little bit on the northern side of I-70. The reason for that, it's much colder up there. Okay. I'm going to answer this question because I like it here in just a second. It's much colder there. And it's the model is showing this at a 10-to-1 ratio. I want you to understand that it's not 10-to-1 with this storm. So this is a foot or more probability at 10-to-1. There's some 20% chances in there. Those bluer colors, or these colors right here, those are 20% chances of 12 inches, all right, from the European ensemble at 10-to-1. So great question here. It says, how did you come up with BAM-WX? I'm going to tell the story real quick. We were chasing storms about 13 years ago in Greensburg, Indiana, and we had a storm. We were live on a news station. I believe it was Wish TV, possibly. And we were asked what we were called. What did we call ourselves? And at the time, we chased storms. So a lot of you might remember BAM Chase. We came up with the name BAM because it's the names of the three of us that own the company: Brian, Amanda, and Michael. And Brian came up with that on the fly, driving down the road while chasing storms. And so we called ourselves BAM Chase. We called ourselves BAM Chase for a long time until we got a little bit more serious and changed it to BAM-WX. Stands for BAM Weather because we don't chase anymore. So that's kind of how we got the name BAM. The logo that you all know and love actually was designed. It was helped to be designed. The logo right there, Fox 59's, their media department helped us fine tune it. The original logo had a backwards B, and it was a little bit more slanted. I don't have that logo to show you, but that logo there has been our logo now for, 10 years probably. Once we it used to say BAM Chase under it, but now it's BAMWX.com. So anyways, great question. Okay. I'm going to wrap this up, guys. I've been live now for 43 minutes. This person says, Brian, if we decide to update Clarity from the starter to a different version, are we able to? Yeah, you're able to upgrade, Brian. Someone on the team reach out to Brian Milholland, please. Brian Milholland wants to upgrade, so I'm sure someone will be in touch with you, Brian, here anytime to help you get upgraded there if you'd like. It's pretty easy to do. Charge the card on file pretty much. So awesome. I'm going to take a couple more questions. I'm going to wrap up. Yeah, 4 o'clock. I'll shoot for a 4 p.m. live stream. 6,000 of you watching right now. So if you're watching through a 4 o'clock live stream this afternoon for the update on the morning model runs, we'll share that stuff with you. So thank you. A lot of people are asking this question. Snowfall amounts don't determine blizzard conditions. You could have 2 inches of snow and have a blizzard. In fact, in the blizzard warning criteria, there is nothing that states the amount of snow. All right. What it states is essentially winds sustained at 35 miles per hour or greater with visibilities less than a quarter of a mile, I think for 2 hours. I can look real quick. I forget, but it's all about visibility and winds. Okay. Here it is. Yeah, I love AI. AI is so fun. You can just Google stuff so quickly. Here's AI. Here's what it says. According to the National Weather Service, a blizzard is a severe snowstorm. That's kind of true, but notice that the amount of snow is not discussed in the criteria of the warning. It's sustained of 30 miles per hour or gust to 35 for at least 3 hours. Okay. Snow, considerable and or drifting or falling that reduces visibility to less than a quarter of a mile for 3 hours. So it's visibility and wind that really determine blizzard conditions. I do not see that being achieved in this setup, unless the models start to deepen the low and change the track and it starts to turn into a bomb. I don't see that. So, hey, Brian, post the link to the BAM store for apparel. A lot of people, we got hats, we got shirts. You guys want to drive around town and with your BAM stuff, man. This time of year, you can't go anywhere without being asked about BAM. Get a shirt, support us. We'd love to see you guys grab a shirt or a hat or something. Yeah, so let's see. Do you think there could be school closures for Monday? Yes, I do. Yes. Nope, that's not the one. Hi, I'm in. Yeah. Michael Gokenhauer, good to hear from you, dude. Thank you. Michael's been around for a long time supporter. Mike, hope you're well, buddy. You're in a good spot in Lafayette, just a good old-fashioned snow. So we got cowboy hats coming. Don't worry. We ordered them. They're coming. So good night. Yeah. So, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. Share this with a friend. Tag us. And we'll be back at 4:00 today to keep you all posted on the latest. And yeah, got a big snow coming. Talk to you soon.